Here's today's First Word Daily Devotion.
On this incredible day, December the 6th, we have Daniel chapter 6 and 7 standing right before us, as well as we have this reading here from 2 John, the whole book, the whole letter, 2 John, as well as Psalm 126. But I'll just be honest, beloved, I'm not sure if I will be able to get to any other reading other than Daniel 6 and 7. So we better get started. Daniel chapter 6, verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be throughout the whole kingdom. Over them 3 high officials, of whom Daniel was one, to whom the satraps should give account, so that the king might suffer no loss. Then this Daniel became distinguished above all the other high officials and satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. And so here is Daniel amongst all the other men, and God has elevated him, and the other men become jealous. And so they hatch this plan. This plan is, let's say to the king, whoever prays to anyone else during this period of time, let him be thrown into the lion's den. Look at this. This is verse 7. Whoever makes petition to any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the lion's den, or the den of lions. And so the king says, hey, this sounds good to me. Since you're the ones who are supposed to ensure that I suffer no loss, I'll just trust you. He was unaware of their diabolical plan, and so he signs the decree into law. Look at verse 10, how it comes. When Daniel knew that the document had been signed, he went to his house, where he had windows in his upper chamber open toward Jerusalem. He got down on his knees 3 times a day, prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he had done previously. So here is this Daniel, this man full of integrity, realizing what had been decreed. He goes to the top of his house, opens the windows towards Jerusalem. Seems like he's doing it so everyone can see. And he did not change his routine. Instead, he wasn't trying to put on a show, just simply trying to be authentically himself. And the king men, they see it, and they come and they bring accusations. And of course, Daniel then ends up in the lion's den. Then the king, when he heard these words, was much distressed, set his mind to deliver Daniel. He labored till the sun went down to rescue him. Then these men came by agreement to the king and said to the king, Know, O king, that it is law of the Medes and Persians that no injunction or ordinance that the king establishes can be changed. Then the king commanded, and Daniel was brought and cast into the den of lions. The king declared to Daniel, May your God, whom you serve, continually deliver you. Look at verse 17. And a stone was brought, laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring, that nothing might be changed concerning Daniel. Now, doesn't that sound a little bit like the story that we read in the Gospels of this king who was thrown, this Lord who was thrown into a pit of death, a stone rolled over, a tomb that was sealed, and of course this is a reference to Jesus Christ here. And up from the grave he arose, and of course Daniel is going to come out alive from the den of death. And so then here, stone was brought. Then the king went to his palace, spent the night fasting. No diversions were brought him, and sleep fled from him. Then, at break of dawn, and isn't this interesting? Let's stop here just for a moment. In a book where sleep is often the case, sleep often flees, and here is this king whose sleep is fleeing from him on account of Daniel, who's in the lion's den. Then at break of day, there again, don't miss the reference to Jesus and the glorious resurrection. Then at break of day, the king arose and went in haste to the den of lions. As he came near to the den where Daniel was, he cried out in a tone of anguish. The king declared to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lion's mouth. They have not harmed me, because I was found blameless before him, and also before you, O king. I have done no harm. And he's pulled out of the lion's den. The king's decree has been kept. And of course, the king's decree was made into nothing because God provided for Daniel. And King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, languages that dwell in the earth, Peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in all my royal dominion people are to tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. And look what happens. He is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed. His dominion, there's a wonderful word that keeps occurring in Daniel. His dominion shall be to the end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. And this is the God that we serve, believer. This is the God in the moment of our exile here. This is the God in whom we put our hope. And now we come to chapter 7. We come to chapter 7, and here we notice again creation language in chapter 7. Chapter 7, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel, this time, saw a dream and visions of his head as he lay in his bed. Now, Daniel's been interpreting everyone else's dreams and visions, but now he's going to have a dream and a vision. And of course, Daniel saw a dream. He saw the four winds of heaven. Remember, we're thinking about creation language, stirring the great sea, four great beasts. There again, that is another reference to the creation story. Coming up out of the sea, that's a reference to the creation story. The first, like a lion, had eagle's wings. The wings were plucked off, and it's lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a man. Sounds a little bit like what we just read about King Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonian Empire. And the mind of a man was given to it. Another beast, a second one like a bear, another one like a leopard, and then a fourth beast that was different from all the others, more terrifying than all the others, and it had 10 horns. And of course, there's a correspondence here that we need to make note of, a correspondence between the 4 kingdoms that came before Jesus. And that's what these beasts are a reference to. And of course, here is this wonderful scene where the Ancient of Days, in the midst of all of these kingdoms raging, the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing as white as snow, his hair as the head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, its wheels were burning fire. A stream of fire issued and came out from before him. 1,000,000 served him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court sat in judgment, and the books were opened. And then I looked, then because of the sound of the great words, and the horn was speaking. And as I looked, there again, all of this is going on. Daniel's switching between heavenly realities and earthly realities. He's seeing the Ancient of Days take his place on the throne. The horn is still breathing threats and speaking. And as the horn is speaking, behold, with the clouds of heaven, there came one like the Son of Man. And he came to the Ancient of Days. He was presented before him, and to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, language, and languages and nations should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that will not be destroyed. And of course, this is a reference to Jesus Christ. And then, of course, to make reference to verse 27, and the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness and the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. His kingdom shall be an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. I love this reference here at verse 28. Here's the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly alarmed me. My color changed, but I kept the matter in my heart. I love how Daniel, in several occasions here since we've read, says that he was physically moved by the visions that he saw. His color changed, but he kept these matters close to his heart. May you today, as you consider the world, consider who holds the whole world in his hands, and consider one day we will see with the clouds of heaven there will come one like the Son of Man. His name is Jesus. Keep these matters close to our heart.